right, everybody. Welcome to the Pastimes Podcast. Each week we go through an old newspaper from a random date in history picked out by Dave Anthony. I'm Gareth Reynolds, and I've never seen it before, and neither is our guest this week,
Briann Gallivan. Hello, Brian.
Hi, guys.
Brian, how are you feeling? You said you
put a lot of pressure on that. Hi, guys.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot more words, so don't put yourself on a every 2 words matters sort of pitch count here.
Okay.
So very quickly, Brian is one of the greatest people I've met through improv, and Brian, this is why Brian is a frustrating person to know and be around, and I'm lucky to have some stuff going on, but for people who maybe have less, Brian moved to LA when he was a little bit older and immediately succeeded so quickly and hardcore that everyone was like, what the fuck is going on? He was getting TV shows on the air. He was making pilots. So he now is a very successful writer, producer, and he also just started doing stand-up. And when I heard that, I was like, give him a minute. And everyone was going, he's amazing at it. So everything he does well. So I have no worries about this podcast. But Brian, you do some shows around town. You were bragging that you've been at Flappers twice.
Ooh. Yes, I'm a big braggart.
Do you post your shows on your Instagram, Uncle Barney 5?
Only if forced to.
Okay.
When they're like, you have to promote this.
Okay, so that is you're doing the stand-up thing right by not wanting to help yourself. But then also you're writing on Shrinking. You're a producer on Shrinking, the Apple show that is Dave will tell you I watch very few scripted shows.
It's maddening.
And my mother and I watched Shrinking over like 3 days, which she probably the second half of 3 of the episodes was asleep, but that's only because we started them at like 7. So I'd look over but she didn't seem to bother her. She loved it, but the show is great.
I've seen Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
Brian wrote that.
Good.
Oh, okay.
Brian wrote that. That's Brian's.
My partner Mike and I have a friend, Alex Kleiner, who whenever he's taking a tight turn in traffic, he goes, "Ooh, honey, I shrunk those kids."
Sure. And then I think that's free for anyone to use. I think that's fair use.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Brian. So listen, strap on your history hat because this show go ahead, Dave, tell him. This show gets a little...
We're the bad boys of comedy.
We're the bad boys.
Podcasting.
We did 10 years being regular podcasters.
Right.
And then the Dollop hit 10 and we kind of went, you know what? Let's just lean in. We're the bad boys.
Lean into it. It's who we are.
We're very empathetic and deeply understanding to the plight that many have gone through. But also,
bad boys.
We don't mind saying the fuck word. Okay? Yeah. Bad boys. So buckle up. So Brian, we will start by guessing what year this historical newspaper will be from.
Okay.
There's been some gamesmanship. Dave is opposed to me winning this part of the show.
I'm not.
Even though
I'm rooting for you. I'm rooting for you.
But I now, from a strategy standpoint, have to have the guest guess first. So what year would you like to guess that this paper's from? We have gone to the 1600s. It's rare. Okay. We recently did a 2001 one, which was rare. So that's kind of your spectrum if you want to.
Okay, good. I was going to ask.
Uncle Barney 5 on Instagram. Flappers twice in 2 weeks.
I'm going to say 1982.
Interesting. Very interesting, Brian. I'm not. I'm going to say 1904. Now he's going to say you're closer.
Yeah, Brian is very much closer. Ooh. Brian got super close. The year is 1904.
Shut up.
So, Brian, you win.
Is it?
Yeah, Brian wins.
Fuck up.
You guessed
it? Really? I don't know if I've ever hit a hole in one.
It's June 16th, 1904.
Really?
Come on.
Yeah.
And he says you win. Do you see what I'm going through?
It's because my presence made you guess better.
It's
don't
more
give
about
him that line
it's
of
about
thought.
vibes more than it is.
I literally
numbers.
guessed the right year, Dave. Come on. Let's admit, this is wild.
Has that ever happened? No?
I don't think it has.
He's come within one or two before, but never nailed it.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So here we go. Bad boys. Brian's a bad boy today. Let's strap in. Flappers twice in 2 weeks. Uncle Barney 5 Instagram. Shrinking. Season 2 coming out pretty soon. Great show. My mother and I consumed it in 3 days. She fell asleep for the second half of 3 of the episodes, probably because she's a little bit older. All right. Here we go.
It is June 16th, 1904. The Broken Arrow Ledger, which is from the town of Broken Arrow, Oklahoma.
Okay. Great. Perfect. Okay. We're ready. Yep.
First story. We'll move across the street.
Okay. So let's just okay. So
Yep. It's going to be what it says.
I feel like more stuff was happening in 1904.
No.
Like
This was it.
We'll do like 1800 ones, and it'll be like someone like, man had water, and you're like, oh yeah, it was boring. But this 1904 feels like we had access to more stuff.
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay.
G.F. Haskins has leased the space between Garrett's harness shop and the drugstore.
This is literally about a regular man moving.
Hold on.
Okay.
And is having a building put in there into which he will move as soon as completed.
Wait, so
You said this wouldn't be hard. I can't follow this.
It's not uncommon to be lost. Feel comfortable being lost. So he is building a building, and once it's built, he'll move across the street.
No, he's leasing a space, and then he's gonna have a building put there, and to that he then has his business in.
Either way, can we agree? Not much. Not the first.
Hold on.
Better at some point. He's going to need to bang a ghost.
This move is made necessary on the part of Mr. Haskins because Mr. Allen must move the building now occupied by the KC Barber Shop from where it is in order to make room for the new brick building.
You keep doing this thing where you're acting like a plot is going to get enjoyable.
They are moving. He bought land, and there's a building there, and the building is being moved to put in a new building.
Right. And you are acting like these are big reveals, but in reality, a guy's just moving. Again, I mean, the headline really did say it.
He's moving a building.
Yeah, right. Oh, he's fully moving the actual building?
Yes, you completely missed the story because you were being so cocky about the.
It gets good. This is good, Brian.
This was interesting to me from the get because I was incorrectly picturing a strip mall. And so, like, there are businesses right next, and I was like, they're gonna put a building in one of the businesses in a strip mall.
Sort of like
they're putting a building in a building.
Place it on it.
So, plus the harnesses grabbed me too. I was like, sex shop
harnesses
or
will grab
horses?
you, Brian. Harnesses will grab you.
Yeah. That's bad boy stuff.
I would imagine. Don't say that. I would imagine that moving a building in 1904 is much harder than today. Like, we'll go on the road and we will see the people moving the houses and be like, is this necessary? But even then, it doesn't seem like it's great.
They probably just moved it close by, like to another.
But how are they doing it?
Don't they put it on wheels?
Yeah, this is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. This is what I mean.
They put wheels.
Like, they're just like this wagon ought to hold.
Yeah, and then a horse pulls it.
That's probably true.
With a fresh harness from the strip mall.
Yeah, they just bought the harness, so it's not going to break.
Oh, that guy's eyes turned into dollar signs, and he's like, y'all need harnesses for a big building? What? They're like, we got a guy down the street. He's like, no.
I'm also picturing a guy getting his hair cut in the barbershop, and he's like, is this safe to do while they're moving the whole barbershop?
Hey, wait a minute.
I mean, I like that story.
I do too. Yeah.
It's, building movement.
It is. And that actually feels real 1904, what it should be.
Yeah.
That's a big enough deal. I owe the paper an apology.
Our offer withdrawn. We have decided to withdraw the offer which we have been making during the past 3 weeks to furnish a free ticket to one person each from Broken Arrow, Weir, Elam, or Fry to the World's Fair. Our reason for doing so is that there has not been a candidate brought out from either of these points. Our subscription list continues to increase, but no one seems to want to vote for anybody to go to the World's Fair at our expense, hence the withdrawal.
What? Anger.
It's a paper throwing a tantrum.
This paper is a little bitch.
It really. How dare it? I mean, it is very like. This is like when you're like have an email composed and you're like, I shouldn't send it. I'll wait till tomorrow. But this actually ended up in the paper. Like, you know what? You can all go fuck yourself. Honestly. No. Fuck you. If you're not going to vote at all and you're just going to make a farce of it, fine. Fuck off.
Oh, no one's worthy of it? No one?
Oh, okay. Oh, sure. You know what? No. And so what were they asking for?
It's a ticket to the World's Fair. They were like,
they need people to vote on like
from the subscribers. They want people to basically say this person is worthy of going to the World's Fair, and then they were going to pick a winner.
It's amazing. I mean, I would imagine if it's just regular people, you'd be like, yeah, I don't really give a fuck.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah fine.
It's also doesn't mean that. So it's just a ticket to the World's Fair that doesn't. You still have to pay to go there and then get a hotel in which you'll probably be murdered by Holmes. So it's not a great experience, but you got to pay for. You still have to pay for stuff. It's like when they're like, "Hey, you got a free ticket to an opera house in Rome," and you're like, "Oh."
This is what happened to my mother. She won a trip to Australia for the Sydney Olympics, and we were like, "Great!" And then it was like, "But you know." We're not going to do all of it. So I was like, you should do this, but you know, you're going to have to pay like a few $1,000s to actually do this.
Yeah, that's
crazy.
Yeah.
All right. He tore them up.
Nice. I do like how their complaint letter to their readers is just wedged in early.
Yeah.
Like they're like, give them a real story so they keep reading, and then we hit them with the fuck off.
And I feel like the headline should have been, you know what you did.
Yeah. Okay, bitch.
He tore them up while waiting for the mail to be distributed not long since. Our attention was attracted by one of the businessmen of the town who had taken some mail from his box, looked it over, and while waiting for more,
it's crazy.
He backed up into a corner and very industriously tore up several envelopes.
This is so gossipy.
And their contents.
This is like a weird woman in an apartment building who's like, keep the cats quiet. That guy's doing weird stuff at the mail area.
And their contents, and made a little stack of the pieces in the corner behind him.
This is weird.
Where the person who sweeps the office floor might have the pleasure of gathering it up.
This is crazy.
Oh, sarcasm.
Yeah, sarcasm. Yeah.
This paper
is
so
amazing. I love it.
Yes. A building moving sounds all right in the long run. Hey, fuck you. Nobody's going to the World's Fair. We've turned this car around. And weird guy ripping his mail up. That'll be annoying.
While he was thus enjoying himself, the thought which entered our mind was, what would this same man be likely to say were we to enter his place of business and treat him so discourteously? The post office is the place to receive mail and not a public place to tear it up and scatter it about.
It's so fucking sassy. So far the paper is just like a comment section.
Yeah.
It's just
it's
like, you know what?
It's very Yelpy comment section. Yeah. It's carrying the paper.
One of my nieces had a paper when she was a little girl called the Nay Circle News about her street and our family. And
amazing.
Gareth and I have a friend, Jet Eveleth, who Mike and I were watching her dog, and the dog jumped out the window and escaped while we were watching it. So my niece's article in the paper was like, don't let your dog stay with Brian. And this paper has a very similar tone.
It very much is like a family newsletter.
And Jean's gone dark again.
By the way, that headline is "Don't let Uncle Brian watch your dog." It must have been tough to read.
It was.
He must have been like, I didn't do anything.
She didn't see me wandering the streets of Laurel Canyon going, "Honey bear, honey bear."
Uncle Brian, relentless pursuit of saving dog.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I had a cat once, and we had it for like a month, and there was a huge windstorm, and it literally a branch came down and knocked the window open, and the cat escapes. And then you were supposed to call the adoption place if the cat got away, because I guess they had the little chip record.
Right.
And I called them, and that call, the lady was just like, "Uh-huh. Oh, so a branch did it?"
Oh.
It was the most accusatory. I'm just like, "Yeah, the branch did it." She goes, "Yeah, okay."
Pretty
It was the most. No, it was the most.
Am I talking to Dave Branch right now? Is the branch in the room right now with you, sir?
Well, keeping with the animal theme.
Sure.
Rats.
There we go. Bingo.
Could go either way, right?
Yeah, I think I know the way it's going to go.
The largest rat story thus far in the history of the city comes from the erstwhile peaceful, quiet home of G.S. Carr on the north side.
Okay.
Keeping track of it.
It's great. It's great.
Keeping
it's a
track
great
of rat
start.
stories.
Yeah, and then who's got the best rat story?
Yeah. On Thursday of last week, he took the initiatory steps in the matter and succeeded in murdering 24
This
of
is
the
crazy.
pests.
That's a lot of
That's a lot of rats.
That's a
in
hefty.
house.
Yeah.
What's
rat.
going on in your house if you just killed 24 rats in one go?
Yeah, where are we again? Oklahoma? This is in Oklahoma?
This is in Oklahoma, yeah.
Wow.
Is murder a little strong?
I don't know, Brian. I mean, it feels like you are the guy who lost the dog. So I don't know. Maybe you're just kind
animal.
I know you're pro animal, but I think you have been hurt by you've been hurt by a scandalous animal headline. So I think your go-to is to defend.
Now, when you threw the stake out the window, did you know the dog would follow?
Yeah, what was the plan there? Why'd you take the screen out?
The branch threw the stake out the window.
Okay, that's fair.
Then on Friday, with the assistance of the neighbors and their dogs, he slew 182 more.
Shut up.
No.
What the fuck? 24 seemed high. He just rounded 200.
Making a total of 206.
What? This guy.
That's insane.
In his house. They were all in his home.
I know. I think that these are just around.
So he kind of took care of his 20-something in his house. And then he was like, this went so well. Let's just try to end it.
Yeah, let's go.
Let's just try to end rats.
Strange though it may seem, Mr. Carr actually seems proud of this wholesale murder.
I do like hanging in there with murder now that you flagged it.
I picture him talking to a friend and being like, I don't know. I feel like I found my thing.
I don't know. I mean, it's like,
I'm good at it.
It's been going pretty good. It's been going pretty good, honestly. That is a lot. I mean, just imagining, like, I bet even the dogs were like, can we take a break? Like, look, we're all for like eating wild varmint, but this is like, I'm full. Like, my teeth hurt from bones.
The dog probably ate some of them, right?
Definitely.
My dog ate a bird the other day.
I'm sorry?
Yeah, the dog ate a bird.
How did he eat the bird?
He caught it somehow.
How?
And
Dogs
they
don't
just started chomping on it.
And
it was
digested
terrifying.
some?
I mean, yeah, some of them went in them.
Wow.
I looked it up online and people were like, yeah, they do that.
Right. Which one? Larry?
Pablo,
that makes sense.
Pablo, yeah. Not the one I would expect. I would expect Larry to eat a bird.
Larry feels like the bird eater.
Here's my niece's latest article. Don't leave your bird with Pablo.
Just the Shade Times.
Okay, this is a very long one.
Okay.
The clothes. Well, I don't know what to say about this one. Okay. The clothes for the boy A mother wants the fashion editor to tell her what is suitable for a boy of 9, with full instructions for making the cost of materials. Why can't fashion leave the children alone?
Oh, wow. Okay. That is very crazy. This is like from someone when you talk to people who don't have any problems in their life and what they're complaining about.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, Jesus Christ. This feels...
Yes, 100%.
Yeah, this is an affluent issue.
This is when he made
Fashion
the paper.
attacked my son.
when this guy made the paper, everyone was like, "Oh Jesus, Frank's making a paper." Oh, my
yeah,
God.
and I'll tell you what, I'm pretty griped out.
Jam the young ladies into straight front corsets, if you will. Keep them thinking about what to wear and how to get it at an age.
Aggressive. I don't love the language.
At an age where they might be playing golf or tennis and doing the supper dishes for mother as a side exercise. Right. But for goodness sake, leave the boys alone.
Unfucking real to be like, look, I get it. You got girls. Throw them in a corset, make them look real pretty. They go play tennis, blah, 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 blah. Women, they don't have feelings. They don't have skin. But the boys.
I just picture him trying to raise money for this paper, being like, I'm going to cover all the things no one's willing to talk about. Tearing up the mail, fashion attacking children.
Revoking offers to the World's Fair.
Slaying rats.
No, he probably was like, he was like, and I'm also going to do some giveaways. People want to go to the World's Fair? I'm going to help them with that a little bit. You know what I mean? I think that's been a dream of everyone.
The clothes question shouldn't approach them until the budding mustache begins to prickle.
Who's not? Is there an author on this?
There's no names attached.
I understand why.
Yeah. We have in mind a boy who will be 10, his next birthday. You couldn't interest him in the subject of clothes. He does not want them, and because he has parents who remember their own youthful days, he does not have them to any extent. Just at present, his outfit consists of a pair of copper-riveted blue overalls and a calico shirt. He is barefoot and has a stone bruise and a sore toe.
Okay. Wait, what?
What bruise?
A stone
bruise.
So like a protrusion?
No, he must have, or maybe he kicked a stone, accidentally.
Oh, right, okay.
Stubbed his toe kind of thing.
Now, are they framing that outfit as what he should be a lot like what he is wearing?
Correct.
So, okay, you're not being attacked by fashion. It's like,
well,
what you're probably, it's 1904, like Johnny Appleseed, like there's a middle ground here. When
did you just use Johnny Appleseed as a frame of reference for what people are wearing?
Yes. And I think I got away with it if it wasn't for you rascally host. No, but they're saying, look, we know what kids wear. They got weird hats, overalls, a calico shirt, and they don't like shoes. I mean, it's just until they have a mustache, let them do it. By the way, my son has an infected toe.
Let the boy Johnny Appleseed, won't you?
Yeah, let the kid Appleseed.
This goes on. So this is the crazy thing, is that this goes on for a while.
This really is a personal paper. Yeah. This is a diary.
But it sounds like at the beginning of this that someone actually wrote in asking for fashion advice for a 9-year-old. So now he's losing his mind.
Right. And it's definitely a he for sure. He's like, look, shove the women in iron vests. We understand that they don't have bones. Look, drown the women. We're not saying fuck the women. But the boys pre-mustache.
So this boy dressed in a fine outfit is your concern, and you can't think of one person who deserves to go to the World's Fair.
Okay. I mean, the kid's asking for it.
Both contribute to his happiness. He cannot carry water because of the sore toe or bring
we have departed from the original thesis of fashion complaints.
This boy needs a podiatrist.
Now look, this boy's dehydrated. He can't carry water. He hurt his toe real bad.
Or bring in the garbage bucket because of the stone bruise.
Garbage bucket makes me happy. It's not 1904 where I live.
Yeah.
Both wounds give him cast with the neighboring boys who are not similarly affected. He is tanned and happy. There isn't a belt or a button to interfere with his use of his lungs or the movement of any of his muscles.
What about your kid's foot? Now look, my son has sepsis. But he's enjoying his life. He's got a beautiful brown tan. He's not like the boys next door who don't have festering wounds.
Is the tan brown? No, it's more of a yellow.
It's more of a beautiful gold, I'd say. Right under his eyes, you can really see it.
Oh, and it just it highlights the red eyes. They just
yeah. I mean, this kid is dead in the yard. Look at him, loving the sun, bathing in it as he does.
This is great. If he wants to go, if he wants to go in swimming, it is possible that he will do so dressed and let his clothes dry on him.
No.
Okay. I'm overwhelmed.
He's gonna chafe. He's gonna chafe if he does this.
The idea, that, like, also, should he be going in what I would consider to be a pond with 2 open wounds? Probably not.
No.
Yeah.
And then he goes in with all his clothes on, and then land dries.
That's right.
I mean, he's like living the life of a lizard.
This morning, he wrestled with another boy in the middle of the road. His mother did not have heart failure because one of the features of blue overalls is that they cannot be injured, and if they could, it would not make any difference.
This is crazy. Who's
Gareth? If
don't
he
you
was
ever
wrestling,
say Gareth and try to make a serious point after what was just said?
Gareth, if he was wrestling. And he didn't have overalls on. He had like a shirt that could be torn.
It's not chain. I mean, what is she talking about? Now, look, we all know blue overalls are bulletproof. Nobody's here arguing a crazy point.
I also like that the newspaper man is just the story is here's a story about a letter I received. So it's not the letter.
No.
It's him describing the letter to us.
No. Another reaction to one of your fucking letters.
Another off-camera conversation with no context brought to the film.
In the afternoon, he helped dig a robber's cave in the hillside.
Well,
it was just a make-believe robber's cave, he explained to his mother, for bless his heart, he feared that she might distrust his honesty of purpose and expect to see a robber emerge from the hole in the hill.
Crazy.
This is like a fever dream.
It makes no. It's like one of those creative writing exercises where they're like, keep the pen moving. That's all that matters. Just keep writing.
Or those improv stories, one word at a time.
Yeah,
just sort of get
like
out
a
of
Dr.
hand.
Know-it-all.
Yeah.
His blue overalls were much in evidence.
Blue overalls are also bulletproof.
And answered all purposes. The dirt that clung to them dissolved when he was sprinkling the lawn and took a shower bath.
This is just...
At 8 p.m., he went to his room, so tired that he couldn't keep his eyes open. The blue overalls slipped from his brown, straight body. Ooh,
this is crazy.
Happening?
It's now... it's now like...
Slipped from?
Yeah, and now it has become... His rock-hard manhood slipped between my fingers.
My stone bruise became darker.
There I was releasing my son's wound with my hand.
And as he fell onto his little white bed, his "Now I lay me" was lost in a dream of more happiness to come.
This
Madame.
is insane.
Oh, he's finally getting back to the lady.
This is like you'd find this in a murderer's house. There you go. This is why he did it. I mean, to him.
Madame, for the summer of 1904, we advise blue overalls and plenty of liberty for your boy. Let fashion go hang.
I honestly forgot how this started.
Yeah.
Like, that's not how you wrap it up. That's like when you're doing stand-up and you're like, you realize you're going to run the light and you have like 2 minutes left and 30 seconds. And so you're just kind of like, anyway, so it's like the fashion, I mean, let kids wear what they want to wear. Thank you, guys.
You guys have been great.
You guys have been unbelievable. Sorry about the end there.
Thank you, Flappers, for the second time in a week.
Thanks, Flappers. That's my second time. There'll be $35 to get a tape of this set.
This is actually signed EX.
EX?
What?
That's not helpful.
No, it's not helpful.
That's worse.
I wonder if
that's like a ransom note
is on the.
I feel like the editor is all these people.
I agree. I really think that
is the man who tore the mail, is the kid.
This is the revelation we have at the end of the paper where we're like, It's all him.
Him killed the rats.
That's why he's moving the building. We were getting close to figuring it out.
He is the barber. And
he's the barber and the building. That one. That one was upsetting. Genuinely upsetting.
That was a tough to start.
That was tough to
start with that.
Yeah, tough.
M. McKenna Publisher.
So that was so long. They're like, what you wrote is a novel in the paper.
This is just, there's a bunch of different things under topic of the day.
This has got to be, I can't even imagine what like flippant headlines look like in this thing.
A chair of humor. It is proposed to have a chair of humor in the University of Wisconsin. The professors don't want all the fun going on behind their backs. No idea what just happened.
What?
I have no idea what just happened.
I'll take a stab.
Wisconsin, go ahead.
I think if someone could talk about humor in Wisconsin, I think, right? Okay.
Sure.
Well, I don't love the way you answered that, Brian, to be quite honest with you. It felt like you were kind of placating me, but I will pursue. I think that they're saying class clowns should be moved to a certain spot in the room so that the teacher doesn't have to keep checking their back. So it's almost like you put the chair at the front of the class. So it'd almost be like a dunce cap, but maybe a way to be a little less
I got
fronted.
moved. I got moved to a chair in the front of the class in the 5th grade.
So
she made
humor
me sit
chair.
up by the she made me sit up by the
That's what I'm saying.
Board. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
It could be the teachers viewing you as like their Andy Richter or Ed McMahon. You know, like,
I've got a Proctor and a Richter. That would be amazing.
Like they're like, just help me with this lesson. I want to make it a little more, entertaining, engaging.
Clark, you're a goofball. Just quick anecdotes a few times during the lesson today would be great.
Worth seeing. It is learned that there is, in Central Europe, a musician who wears his hair short and yet can play the violin. Such a prodigy should be brought to America.
Crazy. Absolutely insane.
He's just...
A guy with short hair plays the violin, and they're like, how do we get one of those? Well, you can't make one in America.
He's just being sassy. He's just like, they all have long hair. That's what he's saying.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I that's what I thought at first, and then I wondered if they just meant he was so young he didn't have long hair yet. But you can have long
a prodigy. Could be.
Prodigy, yeah.
It didn't make me care anymore about it.
No, I don't think you feel particular investment in it either way. It's still just one guy went to Europe and was like, wow.
Good for him.
Ridiculous.
Uneasy lies the head, says a Boston paper. President Roosevelt, Secretary Hay, and Governor Peabody of Colorado have all been threatened with assassination. Uneasy lies the head that wears the official toga. There is a reason to believe that any head in a toga might be uncomfortable.
It's really getting mired in so essentially this ridiculous run is people in positions of authority sleep less easy because people want to kill them.
Mm-hmm. Right. But he saw toga and he had a joke.
Yeah, so I'm still not sure what his joke. He's just like Rome. Pretty good paper, huh?
The word choices are making me think he said to a friend, like, for this week's issue, I'm going to take a bunch of opium and then just write it as fast as I can. By the end, it's just this like gobbledygook.
Yeah. I mean, it is so, even for a small town paper, it's really this is like having a conversation with someone that you want to stop having it.
Yeah.
Like we're like, all right, well, I should probably. Oh, you got another one? Okay.
Yeah. This is the comedian who just keeps doing his bits in front of you, and you're like, okay, we're off stage, and
the best. That's the best. Have you ever busted someone doing that when you're like,
oh yeah,
we've had a guest on here who did that to me once where it's Brian, where I was like,
my niece and that newspaper, it's fucking gold. And now I know it.
That's okay though. You can do that, but what you can't do is do your material like it is the Tonight. You can't be like, but I saw one time I had a conversation and I was like, that guy seems cool. My friend who I was with, she was like, that's literally a stand-up joke he does. And I was like, what? And then I saw it and I was like,
it wasn't a stand-up joke that he was trying. He had been doing it.
It's like not only doing it, like a bit that was refined.
That's really weird. That's really
most
weird.
people would say like, I actually do this in my act. And
right. Yeah, I have a joke about this, but like I've had to do that where I've had to like recount a story that I have in my I have a joke. My material is very good, and so I have a joke about teaching my cat to use the toilet, and I've had to tell a version of that and almost be like, this is hard to tell it without going into my bits, but this actual reality story, while true, here's the version that's quick. You know?
Yeah.
We're good people.
Yeah.
That's all that matters.
Fine. Everything's fine.
Morals and habit. A writer in Harper's Bazaar, a woman, of course.
Here we go. I don't think I care to read anymore. Put her in a corset and quiet her down.
Takes women to task because their morals are a matter of habit, while men's are a matter of principle.
What is the what? It is so stupid. It is so dumb to be like, women do it because they have to learn it. And men, I don't know if you've seen how it's been going. Men just are kind creatures.
And this is also a time when I think tons of dudes just said that they were women and wrote, an article.
Right.
Right. Very common, I think.
Right.
She admits that in actual living, women's moral habit accomplishes more for her than a man's principles do for him. But again, he read something and now he's responding to it.
Yeah.
He read an article and now he's replying.
You know what it's like to be a woman like I am. When you're sitting on a jar to make your whiz, you know what it's like. Pooping from your front when it should be your back hole. You know what I'm saying. Trying to tape your boobs down. With women stuff. Your hair itches because it's long. You know what I mean? You guys get it. We're all women here.
No.
We're girls. You know how your penis is on the inside, basically. We're women.
And your hair's long, but you can't play the violin?
Your hair's long and you can't get a violin under it. You know what I'm saying? Hello? Signed for sure a lady.
But if she could combine both principles and habit, she would be grand and complete.
By the way, in the overall scheme of things, this is not true, but who gives a fuck? Who cares?
I don't know. Again, he read something and he has to respond to it. He's a reply. This is a reply guy. He can't not respond.
Yes, yes. These are like when you like Google something and you're like trying to get an answer and then you find someone writing the thirstiest, saddest comment. You're like, why? Go outside. The person. I'll never forget the first time that I saw a wheelbarrow. Oh boy, this is quite a humdinger. It's like no comments, one like, and you're like, don't encourage them.
Men should receive the meed of praise here given for their principles with that unpresumingly humility that most becomes them.
Insane.
I mean, if I think of men, I think unpresuming humility.
Yeah, it's like so strange to just like in any era in America to be like, hey, how about we give it up for men? Pretty good, right?
Principled of creatures.
Let's talk when we're talking about the perfect species. I mean, we are talking white fellas in America.
White fella, yeah.
You know what I mean? Pretty good.
Ones who wore overalls as young boys.
Ones who had bulletproof overalls that obviously they wore all the time until they laid down at night when it would slip off their little bodies, their little creamy frames. Tasty, while we look at the wound-filled, while they have maggot-filled wounds below the
knee. Miss Burnett is only 16.
Uh-oh.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Not good.
So red flags all over the place.
Let me say, only could save us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's helpful.
Miss Faye Burnett of Muskogee, who was recently appointed Chief Maid of Honor of the Nashville reunion of the Trans-Mississippi Division of the Sons and Daughters of the Confederacy. What the fuck?
Christ.
What the fuck just happened?
Why?
So, the Chief Maid of Honor for the Nashville reunion of the Trans-Mississippi Division of the Sons and Daughters of the Confederacy.
It's so funny to even hear trans and Confederacy near each other now.
Did you ever in like elementary school, I'm probably too old, but they used to teach us how to diagram a sentence, like the noun and then the verb is like a different line, and then there's other lines showing
like music almost
prepositional phrases. So
right.
The final exam would be this sentence.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. What's the subject?
You're checking all the boxes here, Brian. Good work.
She is believed to be the youngest person who has ever held that position. She is only 16 years old.
She is the only person who can say the name of the position.
She can remember it all. I love the idea of taking a wistful, proud look at like, boy, she's racisming at a really advanced stage.
Right. They take you on such a twisty, turny road. You're like, oh, maid of honor. Yeah. You're missing certain words. Oh. By the end, you're like, she's a grand wizard?
Yeah. I'm the president of Asian hate.
Of continental Asian hate.
Wow, good for her though. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's great.
That is like when you see the oh Jesus Christ, what are they called? The family who goes and protests.
The crazy people from
the
Kansas.
crazy
I don't remember their name, but I know you're talking about. But they would go to funerals and everything.
Yeah, they go to like gay people funerals and and they would be like, I'm so close to remembering.
You're wicked and going to hell. They do it to soldiers. Like,
if you watch documentaries about them, they'll interview like an 11-year-old, and the 11-year-old will be like, they'll just be like, so why do you hate black people? And the 11-year-old will be like, well, it's not part of God's plan. You're like, boy, this is just espousing stuff you can hear like the dad just saying after 18 Bush Lights. And you're like, these are not your thoughts. It's like a 16-year-old being in charge of any Confederacy reunion. Be like, I mean, no life experience has brought you to this. It's just pure in your house. They're just like, now let me tell you why the South will rise again. Okay, Papa. Have I been talking for 20 minutes or am I crazy?
It seems like it, yeah.
It's a while.
You blanked out and you went
was
into
quite a while.
Did my eyes go? My eyes sometimes go. My eyes will go back into my head sometimes, Brian.
Oh, I was like, he might land it. I don't know.
I don't know. It feels like if it was like someone jumping on a big X on like some, like an area I was like adjacent. Yeah. I live but didn't win anything.
No. Your whole body's one big stone bruise.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Sometimes podcasting is just talking and filling space.
Without Westboro Baptist Church.
I was going to say that.
Yes, that's them.
Did I redeem myself in any way, or did sort of
no? People start to listen to that. Yeah,
you guys are good friends. Mm-hmm. I appreciate it.
Curios sold to bury him. In order to secure funds to bury him, the personal property of the late Levi Collins of Newcastle, Delaware, was sold at auction the other day, and a sum was realized to pay for a decent funeral. I mean, he doesn't need it.
Yeah.
He'd just sell his shit.
Yeah.
Collins was a bachelor who for 40 years rose daily at dawn and made a tour of the town, picking up what he could find of value in the gutters.
Okay, so he's gay and he's hooking up in the morning. The bachelor scanning the gutters.
Bachelor, waking up early.
Weirdly, he died of AIDS in 1904.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna go look at the gutters again. Are you guys heading down to the gutters today?
Why do you keep going there? No reason. How are your wives? Everyone's wives good?
He was seldom known to walk on the sidewalk.
Well, that's a good way of putting it, right, Brian?
That's my new code word.
I'm pretty sure that guy doesn't walk on the sidewalks.
He's walking on. That bitch walks on the double yellow line. Amy.
In his house were found a number of boxes full of curios, which he had picked up. Among them were bricks from the old tile house built by William Penn, and many articles of bric-a-brac from faraway countries.
So a hoarder.
He's a hoarder.
Butt plug, dildo, blah, blah, blah.
There's a box of lube.
Trying to figure it out. Like, again, what is he making, a slide? I don't know. Why did he love the gutters so much? There's a naked guy in the shower. That's so strange. What an odd environment.
Is there a brick still up my butt?
Yeah, there is. So, did you fall in the gutter? Have a good day, boys.
Bye.
Trying to figure out.
The evils of mock gentility.
I hate the editorials. I hate the editorials.
I know, right? They're just... Students of social conditions are alarmed at the false pride which makes young men prefer to be poorly paid clerks rather than well-paid working men.
Ugh.
That the desire for mock gentility exists is shown by the eagerness with which youths who would be first-class mechanics or able farmers rush but half-qualified into the learning professions only to meet disaster. Its more wide-reaching effects are to deprive the community of efficient working men and to multiply useless members of society. He's basically saying too many people are getting degrees.
Yes.
We need more mechanics.
Yes.
My car was broken and there was nobody to fix it.
By the way, it is sort of right. Is it not?
It is right.
At this point, like, you would be better to know how to like garden than be like, I made an app.
Right.
Whenever I get something fixed, I'm always like, why didn't I go into for refrigerator repair?
Always. I mean, truly, you're like, look at that, an actual skill.
And also, like, no one's emailing you to do shit. Like, you once you're off the clock, you're like, okay, I'm not fixing fridges anymore. Yeah. There's no.
I have 3 older brothers, and I think my dad should have been like, you're going to be a mechanic, you're going to be a plumber.
Yeah.
Like,
you're going to be a doctor. You cannot do improv. And I'm like, no, come on.
That's you got all those fundamental rules that I love. Father, it's yes, and I can do improv. No, son of mine. No, it is true. It would be like it would be like, but that is one of the things where they talk about, when you talk about like home ec or things that they used to teach in school, and I'm always like, man, I just wish someone was like, here's how you like do this, and you'd be like, just to have it. Yeah. Instead, I'm like, I still don't know what the Pythagorean theorem is, but in that time I could have learned how to be a drummer, right? Is that what we're saying?
What?
Maybe.
Be like,
I feel like you went off.
Juggle.
You really
juggle.
We were waiting for a different word, and then drummer.
Yeah.
I also
gymnastics.
I like how this editorial is like, a lot of these guys want to be clerks, and they get there, and it's like they're like, oh, by the way, I'm illiterate. What do I have to do as a clerk?
What is clerking?
I don't know.
Yeah, he's basically saying there's too many. You guys are fucking idiots, so you shouldn't actually try to be an accountant.
Right.
Yeah.
Numbers are too hard for you. Learn how to work on the car. Maybe think about wheels, like putting on tires.
4.
Wife number 1 is loyal.
Oh, crikey. Not great.
Harv.
Hot. Hey, by the way, hot name.
That's a great name. Harv Anglin, alias Union Lee Simpson, recently indicted at Tulsa for bigamy, is out of jail on bond.
This is bigamy.
Mm.
Wow.
This is scandalous.
Yeah.
He has made peace with his wife number 1 and is now living at the old homestead near Red Fork. So she was just like, yeah, all right, I get it. Sometimes you marry another person, like it happens.
And so it isn't Mormonism. It's just that. But this happened quite a bit back in the day, right, David? Like there was
you would just leave and then
guys would just be like, fuck it, I'll do one more.
Yeah, I'll go over there and do that.
Yeah, I'd be like, fine, I'll just have a Delaware wife. It's fine.
So when seen, he was hoeing cotton on the farm, which he made and owned while living with wife number one.
Okay.
It is said that this woman interested a number of her neighbors to assist in getting her husband out of jail, and he is reported to have convinced her that he played a smart trick when he disguised himself and courted the daughter of a neighbor under the name of Simpson.
This is
acting like he was a Kentucky capitalist.
I can't stay mad at them. They are just the poor wife being like, so you think you just marry? Honey, what? What are you talking about? I didn't marry her because I what? What? Babe, I pulled off the crime of the century for us. What you did? Yeah, honey. Now we got 2 income. Are you kidding me? And I didn't even let her take my name. I was pretending to be another fella the whole time.
Yeah, I could join the Groundlings. I'm amazing.
I'm unbelievable. Baby, what are you talking about?
Okay, so she's
pregnant. Well, I gotta commit to the bid. Baby, I gotta commit to the bid. What? Not gonna bail your husband out of jail?
My character doesn't wear profos.
My character don't pull out.
So he gets put in jail for bigamy. She gets the neighbors to help, probably raising money, right? To get him out of jail. And the thing he had done was seduced a neighbor's daughter using a different name and saying he was a Kentucky capitalist. So this all happened within the neighborhood.
Yeah. So she was like raising money and she was like, wait, that's my husband. Kentucky philanthropist?
I know. Now I'm like, was this the one titled, but she's only 16? No, that was a different one. Because I'm how old is the daughter?
Yeah. No, right. Yeah.
It can't be. It's got to be around. I bet that's what it is. He was married to Melissa Stubblefield at Supulpa on November 1st last year.
All right. You're asking for a second wife if you're...
Yeah.
With this girl, he lived until he was arrested at Bristow early in May.
Such a funny thing to get arrested for, too. Let me check your hands. Yeah, he's got 2 rings. Come on downtown. What? Also the funniest crime to be like with your wife, like, what officer, what did he do? You're not his only wife, ma'am. What?
And then he's like, at the station, he's like, may I have 2 phone calls? They're like,
no, you may not. I need to, 2 women might be coming with bail money, just so you know. Am I in prison because I love too much? Shut up in there. I'm sorry I have a heart too big for my body.
I couldn't pull out.
Apologies. And then later, just like, there's a third. There's a third one.
If you didn't want me to marry another woman, you shouldn't have invented Kansas.
I got married to my cellmate while in here. Jesus Christ, this guy.
the cellmate's like, I'm really into it. He's so good.
He's a winner. The guy's great.
Jumped into a shaft.
Been there.
So many.
Honey, you're not going to believe what happened.
Galena. This is out of Galena. Fancying that she heard the cries of her missing 2-year-old boy, Miss J.O. Stewell jumped into an abandoned shaft 80 feet deep and was mortally injured yesterday afternoon.
Wow.
Her clothing caught the sides of the shaft, and she was rescued. Good.
So she had a shot.
She was rescued by men with ropes. Her skull was fractured, and she received several bruises. The child was found at a neighbor's home.
Oh, my fucking God.
She absolutely did. She just jumped in.
It's
she
a
didn't
suicide.
Hear. This is suicide. She didn't.
This is so weird because the Naomi episode I listened to, a woman jumped in a well, and it was a similar time period. I feel like ladies were just like, fuck it.
And then men couldn't fathom why women wouldn't want to be alive in that time. They're like, she was looking for a child.
They've got corsets, golf, tennis, dishes.
I don't know what. Yeah, their husbands are marrying other ones without telling them. I mean, women, this is an era of lady. Boy, I mean, it must have been that, because the idea of just thinking like your kid's down a shaft and just like, I'll go check.
I'll go.
All right. Hopefully he's down there. Woo!
He's not.
I don't see him.
Tell him I love him.
He would stay in prison. This is out of Connecticut. Okay. Antonio Sperano, sure, a life prisoner at the state penitentiary, who on Monday last was granted a conditional release by the Board of Pardons, has declined to accept the release.
I like.
Can you do that?
I don't know. I think
I don't think you could
that's
do that.
probably what they said. They were like, "Hey, he wants to stay." What?
You're gonna have to evict me, boys.
Yeah. I choose to stay guilty.
Yeah.
What do you?
He's squatting in prison.
Yeah, he's squatting. Like they would have to drag him out and throw him out, right?
Well, it's like Shawshank when Brooks goes on the outside and he can't handle life.
Yeah.
You want to just stay hanging with the boys, but it is kind of embarrassing to not have a reason to be there. And like you'd come back and be like, "How'd it go? They pardoned me and I denied it. What are we doing? Pinochle?" It's kind of like hanging out at high school when you're 19. Come on, let's keep it going.
You
guys are my best friends.
I just want to point out that when you brought up Brooks, you said he wanted to stay hanging with the boys. Poor choice of words.
It wasn't great.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah. The saddest that part in that movie is so sad when you're just like, Brooks can't handle life out there.
Brooks.
He's like bagging groceries, and then you're like, Brooks, no. Hopefully he's just trying to change a light bulb. No, Brooks!
Oh, no.
His sweet old feet.
There's a director's cut where he does just change a light bulb.
We'll figure it out in post. We'll make that decision in edit.
When informed of the condition of his release, which was that he should return to Italy, he became very much excited and said, quote, "I cannot go back to Italy and work for 15 cents a day. I would rather stay in prison."
Dave, you have an Italian quote. Flex the muscle. Show Brian the accent.
"I cannot go back to Italy and work for 15 cents a day.
Yeah.
I would rather stay in the prison."
There we go.
Gorgeous.
See? It's
spicy
beautiful.
meatball.
Yeah, and well, again, not the best part, but
yeah,
but good. That
I'm
makes
impressed.
a lot more sense. Yeah, of course you are. Your eyes sort of did a weird thing when you said you were impressed, Brian. That and now your mouth is not backing up your.
When does it end? The
podcast? Jesus, that's a crazy question.
He will probably return to prison. He will probably return to Italy. Sorry.
Okay. So he just wanted to stay. That shows you how awesome this country is.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know what I mean? We lock up immigrants and they want to stay in jail. Well, we used to. Well, I'll stop.
Yep.
Well, this is anarchist Italy time. This is
right.
Okay.
Right.
Anarchist Italians are coming over and doing things.
Right.
Speaking of which, arrested for using dynamite.
This paper got so much better.
I know. Yeah. It's when they started. The local stories are troubling.
Yeah.
It's when we started going afield.
Once he started going like, what's exciting? The paper has been written backwards.
Yes, it has. Yes.
It's give me the country view, but instead they're like, so there's free dirt next door.
Yeah.
People want to hear my opinions and then the other shit.
So the first half's my manifesto, and then we sort of cover the global.
Considerable trouble is being experienced by the authorities here with people dynamiting the streams for fish. Several people have been arrested, and every effort will be made to secure conviction.
And that, again, not crazy, right? People... crazy.
It's crazy.
It really, it's almost like that has been our basic attitude towards every resource, was just like, well, it's probably not going to help the stream, but I'll get a bunch of fish if I just throw dynamite in there.
Yeah.
It's like fracking.
But then And then you're just sitting on the side of the river and fish fly out towards you and you pick them up and eat them.
It's
like as the Native Americans did.
And I mean, the Native Americans.
The Native Americans must just watching this going, what?
Just watching.
No.
Like, wow.
What
That's just
in the fuck?
Honestly, even for them, what the actual fuck?
This is really dumb, but you're
in a safe space.
How does the dynamite, you light it?
Yeah.
And you throw it in the water?
I think the fuse on dynamite, it's like waxy. So I think
it can get wet.
Okay. Yeah, I think it can get wet. Yeah.
And
unless
again,
you have to
I know
time
that
it.
from
Perfect.
the great outdoors. Yeah, go ahead.
You do?
Yep, go ahead. You have to time it? That would be tough timing.
It would be great to have to time it so right when it gets to the top of the water, it blows up.
The amount of men who would die.
That'd be amazing. Yeah, a lot of men would die.
Again, Native Americans up on a mountain just like, oh, man, I mean, maybe they'll kill themselves. They're getting so close.
Right. They were like,
they might just self-genocide if we keep watching.
They caught 12 fish and killed 14 men.
So the river no longer works. All the fish are dead, and this guy has enough for 2 days. Like, USA, baby! Woo!
All right, last one.
Okay.
Diet of breadcrumbs fatal.
Well, who? Okay.
This is as a gluten-free person, this is really resonating for me.
This is out of Camden, New Jersey. Rudolphus Bingham, father of the Prohibition Party in Camden County and one-time candidate for governor on the Prohibition ticket, is dead in Cooper.
See? This is why you have to drink. I don't care what anyone says.
Aged 80 years.
Okay.
Several years ago, he began to subsist on a diet of breadcrumbs and whole corn and wheat, believing it would prolong his life.
Nobody stepped in. He was like, the key is to live good. Only eat nothing.
You've seen birds, right?
That's too much for me.
Physicians told him.
Stop it. What? You're doing that thing again. What?
He would throw the breadcrumbs on the floor and then peck at them and eat them.
He poops like a bunny. That's it.
Physicians told him the fare was killing him, but he refused to change it.
Well, they were. By the way, 80 years old in 1904. I don't know who's having the last laugh here.
It's pretty good.
Yeah. Also, hey, doctors, dementia?
Yeah, that's really true.
Maybe there's something else going on.
If you eat your fingers, you can live a lot longer. Rodolphus, what? My diet's my own hand.
Our elders are our wisest people.
Yeah. While another guy's dynamiting a river, you're like, is there a middle ground to the two diets we have right now? Well, Brian, to answer your question...
Oh, it's
this
over
is when
already?
the podcast ends. Mm-hmm. How did you feel? You feel good?
I had a lot of fun.
Okay, all right.
I was scared.
Had a lot of fun.
I don't know. I thought it'd be stupid.
You're not stupid.
No history.
But you're the best. Truly, you're the best. So don't ever forget that. I love you.
What are we ending?
Shut
this
up,
with
Dave.
Pep talks?
Brian and I talk. I love you, buddy. People can find you Uncle Barney 5 on Instagram.
Yeah, good luck.
You know what? You probably don't even give a fuck about this, but I was in a pilot that Brian made a few years ago. We're still waiting to hear.
He was wonderful.
And a number of famous people were in the pilot and recognizable figures. And one night we go out to dinner and the hostess at the restaurant just goes, "Oh my God, are you Sassy Gay Friend?" And of all the people who got recognized, it was Brian for these videos he used to make called Sassy Gay Friend, which was so fucking funny.
Which I was going to who were the bad people we mentioned earlier?
Westboro Baptist Church.
Oh yeah, somebody did a meme with Sassy Gay Friend to them or back in the day.
God.
That's great.
Oh my God, that's great. Yeah.
That's great. You're a stand-up. Watch Shrinking. Brian, thank you for joining us on a ride to a historical era that was sad and demented. And I did guess the year, and I don't think we talked about that enough.
That's amazing. Thank you. It feels special to be here today.
I agree. Today was a very special episode. Yeah. Not to make it about me, but okay, the show's over.
Some of these days you'll miss me, honey.